This weekend, skies over parts of Delmarva will be filled with different colors and shapes, and it promises to be spectacular.
That's because the annual Kite Festival takes place at Sailwinds Park along the Choptank River in Cambridge. Whether you're a novice kite flyer, maybe you're a professional kite flyer, you just want something to watch, you need to be there. Here to tell us more about it is event coordinator Chad Malkus. Chad, thanks for coming.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
This is going to be an incredible sight. How many kites do you think you're going to have there?
It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous sight. Typically, it's usually several hundred. You know, the kids get a chance to make their own kites, so those they're able to fly, and then we have kite vendor there that sells kites, and then everybody that's flown before is, you know, they bring their own kites as well.
Yeah, and look, that one right there, that huge whale
who's
there.
That guy's name is Mel. He is a 110-foot long. He's a life-size blue whale. That's exactly the size of a blue whale.
Seriously?
He was made in New Zealand, I believe. And he takes a lot of wind to fly, but it's amazing to see. And watching him fly over the Choptank is something to behold. I think it's short for Melville, a little play on Moby Dick there.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So why a kite festival?
Well, you know, it was funny. We have this beautiful park there next to the visitor center and amphitheater, a big hill, and we wanted to showcase it a little more, bring it to the public's attention. And I serve on a board of directors. My law firm has supported this festival for many years, but it's one of those things where they said, well, what can we do here? And I just flown a kite with my son, Lake. I said, well, maybe we could have a kite festival. And they said, well, what do you know about running a kite festival? I said, how hard can it be? You know? And so the first year it was sort of, we just were figuring it out, but it was amazing. I put some information about, there's an American Kite Association. I learned more about kites the first year than I ever had. But I put it on their calendar, and I started getting calls and emails, and these guys all showed up. These great people from Wings Over Washington Kite Club.
Yeah.
They're big kite enthusiasts, and it's like following a Grateful Dead show. They go around all over the place and fly kites in all these great locations.
Wow.
And I said, well, we're not that serious, but you know, come and bring your kites. And they've been back every year. They love it. They absolutely love it.
Now there are some stunt kites.
Yeah, there's. This is more kite terminology, but they have these kites called quads. They're called quads because they have 4 strings on them, and they are able to do all these acrobatics and maneuver them all over the place. And they set it to music, and so it's really beautiful to watch. They dance the kites, and they'll position them so they drop down right next to your face, and then have them take off again and everything. They're professionals, and we have a little competition amongst those guys each year, give out some trophies and that sort of thing.
This sounds like something for the whole family.
It is. It's a great family event. It's a free event, so that's one of the great things. We have a few sponsors. Like I said, my law firm sponsored it many years, so we just we don't have any budget, so we just most of the people donate their time. The Dorchester YMCA, they do the kite making competition, and it's a perfect event for families. We do have a new thing this year. It's called Entertainment Avenue. It's a group out of on the Western Shore, but they're going to bring a rock wall, some moon bounces, and this thing called Extreme Air, where the kids do some bungee type stuff.
Oh boy!
Yeah, so it's just a great festival for families. People bring their dogs to the park. They bring their kids, and grandparents bring the families. It's just a great day all around.
Okay, now you showed us Mel.
Yeah.
Who is Olo?
Olo is an octopus. Olo is owned by a great guy out of Jersey. His name is Dennis Hawley, and that is one of the longest kites in the world. Not that one, but one of the other ones. He's a red octopus kite, and he is 100. I think you can see him sort of flying in the distance.
There he is.
That's Olo. And he is 130 feet long, and is one of the longest kites in the world.
Wow.
And the ropes on that, I mean, they're like that big around.
Really? They're cables, right?
They're cables, and they hold him in the ground. And he takes a lot of wind to get up there, but usually on the Choptank, there's usually a good breeze, if not a good stiff wind there. So it's a good location. But watching him float above the water, it's a lot of aquatic creatures, and it's fascinating to see.
Not bad.
It's just a blast. And the kids just, their necks are sore by the end of the day because they're staring up all the time.
They love it.
Yeah.
They love it.
Good
Chad,
stuff.
that's incredible. Thank you so much
for letting us know.
My
pleasure.
That's
Absolutely.
terrific.
All right, and we have the event details coming up right here so that you can go. It's Sunday, October 21st, noon to 4 p.m.
Noon to 4. They can find out about it on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Sailwinds.
Okay.
So we'll have that on our
we'll
website.
Put that on our website.
And we want to point out that's going to be at the Visitor Center.
Correct.
So if you come there and you see a whole bunch of kites, go there.
Yep, absolutely.
Gotcha.
You won't miss it.
Yeah, thanks.
You will not miss it.
All right. And speaking of a sight to see, Brian's doing yoga again.
Midshore YMCA in Salisbury. Brian, you haven't pulled or strained anything yet, have you?
Well, Jimmy and Lisa, I haven't yet, but you know, anything can happen. You know, when we think of yoga, we may not necessarily think of kids doing it, but the fact of the matter is there are a lot of benefits to children doing yoga, including it can actually help them go to sleep. I know a lot of parents like to hear that. We'll tell you all about it when we come back, but first, here's a look at what's coming up on the news on First at 5 on Fox 21 and later on WBOC News at 6.